We have a state agency, the Department of Children and Families, tasked with this very sacred mission to protect our children, especially in situations where parents or guardians are unable or unwilling to do so. Unfortunately, since April 2013, we have lost the lives now the count is 20 innocent children, all whom were either served or investigated by the department. This is unacceptable.
The horror stories we hear are shocking. I don't think that we'll ever get to a point where bad people will stop doing bad things to children, and that's one of the worst parts about this conversation, that no matter what we do, we won't be able to stop everything, but there have been red flags that have been missed along the way.
I have asked for our department to put together a report for demographic information on all the children that have died in 2013, that had department priors, which children died of verified abuse. And as I looked preliminarily at some of the things that may have gone wrong in the cases that we had just discussed, it seems that much of it has to do with missing some red flags, perhaps. Some of them has to do perhaps with the isolation of the protective investigator in making the decisions. I'm not saying it was not necessarily self-imposed, perhaps it was, but it is important for us to develop and continue to develop a culture where decisions are made in a multidisciplinary fashion so that all things are considered. And of course, the safety of the child is paramount.
You know, the children aren't just the 20 that we know of today. There are more. There are some that have changed the course of Florida's history. And I just, in honor of the children that we shouldn't forget, want to go back for a minute and remind the child welfare people who are here that we should have learned lessons from the death of Lucas Chabon, Bradley McKee, Kayla McKean, Aurelia Wilson, Gabriel Myers, Nubia Barahona, and all too many others.
Because when all these people stood up here today, I agree. Certainly, they of all people don't ever want to see a child die under their watch, okay? But it has happened, and we have to make sure that we do better. And we need to give these people the resources and the tools so they can do their jobs to protect the most vulnerable children in our state.
And I would suggest one reason things aren't changing fast enough is there's no anger, there's no outrage in this room. Unfortunately, the people that would be outraged in anger are dead, and their families that were part of the problem are negligent in their duties, or those kids wouldn't have been in those situations. So I'm here to represent Aurelia Wilson's ghost and say, you guys need to get some anger and outrage in you to change the existing conditions.
I'm not sure we've learned from our mistakes. I'm frankly not sure we're not repeating the mistakes of the past.